Have you ever found yourself thinking, I'm so tired? Not just physically tired, but emotionally tired. The kind of tired that sleep doesn't fix. The kind of tired that follows you through your day. The kind of tired that makes even tiny decisions feel overwhelming. And if that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. Many women over 50 are carrying a level of emotional exhaustion that they don't really understand. And today I want to talk about why. Because there may be something going on than simply having too much to do. If we haven't met yet, I'm Elaine Louise Stewart. I work with women who are 50 and above who feel like they've lost themselves somewhere along the way and are looking to find their way back. Today we're talking about emotional exhaustion. And there are three things I want you to think about as we go through this. Suppression drains energy. Second, nervous system dysregulation fuels burnout. And third, learning how to regulate yourself can help restore vitality and energy. Let's begin by asking the question, why do so many women feel exhausted in the first place? When women talk about exhaustion, they're really thinking about all the things they have to do each day. Taking care of family, managing responsibilities, supporting everyone else, working, helping, planning, organizing, holding everything all together, and certainly all of those require energy. But what often gets overlooked is the emotional load they're carrying, the worries they don't share, the feelings they don't express, the disappointments they don't acknowledge, the grief they haven't fully processed, the anger they don't feel allowed to feel, the fears they push aside because they have to keep going. Over time, carrying all of that becomes exhausting. One of the things I've learned in my own experience is that emotions don't disappear simply because we don't want to feel them. Many years ago, I had an experience that taught me this very clearly. I found myself in a situation where an emotional reaction seemed to come out of nowhere. I became angry. I cried. I felt overwhelmed, and I felt really embarrassed because all of this happened around a group of women that I barely knew. At the time, I thought it was the situation at hand that had caused this. But later I realized something really important. What happened in that moment was not about that moment. That reaction was attached to something way old, way in the past. Old emotions and experiences that had been pushed down inside me for decades. Things I tried not to feel, things I felt shame about, things I believed should have been over by now. The truth is, it requires a tremendous amount of energy to hold our emotions down inside our bodies, trying to keep emotions buried. Eventually, the pressure just becomes too much. And when I understood that, everything shifted. I started to really understand myself and have compassion for myself, because now I really understood why I'd been so exhausted. This is something I want every woman listening to hear. There's nothing wrong with you. If you're feeling emotionally exhausted, it doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you're failing. It doesn't mean you're too sensitive. Your exhaustion may actually make perfect sense. Many women learned early in life to disconnect themselves from their feelings, to be strong, to keep going, to not make trouble, to put other people's needs first, to carry things quietly. But every time we disconnect from ourselves and our feelings and what we're feeling, our nervous system still carries it. The body keeps the score. And emotional energy doesn't disappear. And over time, trying to push it down can leave us feeling exhausted. completely depleted. So what can you do? I have 2 practices for you. The first one is start asking yourself, what am I feeling right now? Not what am I thinking, not what I'm supposed to feel. What am I actually feeling? Many women have become disconnected from this question. Rebuilding awareness is the first step. Second practice, create a 2-minute pause every day. No phone, no television, no distractions. Simply sit quietly and notice. What feels heavy? What feels unresolved? What needs attention? You don't have to solve anything. You're just allowing yourself to notice. That alone begins reducing the energy required to keep everything pushed down. The good news is that emotional exhaustion isn't always a sign that something's wrong. Sometimes it's a sign that something needs your attention. Sometimes it's your mind and body asking for reconnection. And the more connected you become to yourself, the less energy you spend managing, suppressing, and carrying things alone. Remember, emotional suppression drains energy. Nervous system dysregulation fuels burnout. And learning how to regulate yourself can restore vitality. Not overnight, but one small step at a time. I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever realized that some of your exhaustion might be emotional and not just physical? Let me know in the comments below. If this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I post a new video every week for women who are 50 and above, who want to reconnect with themselves and create lasting change. And next week, we're going to talk about why small things trigger big reactions. You've done brave things before. This is just the next step. Thank you for listening. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you next time.